I was already in my good dress when Marcus's text came through. Mom, something came up. Diane got promoted. Her office is doing a last-minute celebration dinner. We're so sorry. Rain check? I sat at my kitchen table with the good china all around me, birthday candles still in their box, and I felt something settle inside me. Not anger. Something quieter and older than anger. I was 75 years old. I had been quiet for long enough. Let me take you back to how it all started. My name is Patricia Ann Mercer. I live in the same house in Fairfax, Virginia that Gerald and I bought in 1978, the year Carter was president, and we had $1,700 in savings, and we thought that was plenty. Gerald passed 7 years ago, heart attack on a Wednesday morning while he was reading the newspaper. He was the best man I ever knew, and I think about him every single day. I retired from Fairfax County Schools after 32 years, the last 15 as a building principal. I am not wealthy, but I am careful. Gerald's insurance, a decent pension, 40 years of steady saving. It adds up, if you are patient. Marcus is my only child. He married Diane 11 years ago. She is smart, driven, and not unkind exactly. She is the kind of person who is always keeping count, always aware of who owes what, always updating a ledger only she can see. They have 2 children. Emma is 9, all long braids and strong opinions. Theo is 7, gentle and funny and still young enough to fall asleep on my couch. I love those children more than I can say. About 4 years ago, Marcus sat across from me at this same kitchen table and had what he called a tough conversation. Hargrove Academy, where the kids went to school, charged $6,300 per child per semester. Diane had just changed firms. Things were tight. He did not ask me directly, Marcus never could ask directly, but he talked around it until I understood what he needed. I told him I would cover the tuition. Both children, both semesters. I set up the automatic transfer directly to Hargrove's billing office, and I remained the account holder. Diane did not know. Marcus knew, and we agreed to keep it simple. He hugged me in the kitchen doorway and said he did not know what they would do without me. I told him not to worry about it. What happened that Christmas was the first sign I should have paid more attention to. They drove up from Alexandria, 45 minutes on a Sunday, no traffic, and stayed 3 hours. Diane had a work event she simply could not miss. I had cooked for 2 days. Standing rib roast, sweet potato casserole, homemade rolls, 2 pies. I packed most of it into containers and brought it across the street to Ruth, my neighbor of 28 years, who said it was the best meal she had eaten since her husband Mel passed. I did not say anything to Marcus. That spring, I heard about the Myrtle Beach trip through Emma, on our Sunday phone call. Grandma, we're getting a waterslide cabin. I waited for an invitation. It never came. When I finally asked Marcus, he said Diane felt it would be more relaxing for everyone if it was just their little unit. His voice had the sound of a man reading from a script someone else had written. I said I understood completely. And I did not say another word. But the birthday dinner was different, because Marcus suggested it himself. That is the part one needs you to understand. He called me 3 weeks before and said, Mom, 75 is a milestone. We are taking you to Carmine's, your favorite. The whole family, just us, your birthday, 7 o'clock. Book the date. He sounded genuinely happy about it. I called Emma and Theo the very next Sunday. Emma asked if she could pick out the cake flavor. Theo asked if he could sit right next to me. The week before my birthday, I went to the salon. New cut, simple and clean. I bought a blouse, deep green, because Gerald always said green was my color and Gerald was right about most things. I even stopped by Carmine's on a Tuesday afternoon just to confirm the reservation. The hostess found our name without hesitation. Party of 5. Table by the window. I went home and pressed the blouse and hung it on the bedroom door. The day of my birthday, I set my own kitchen table with the good china, the set Gerald and I received as a wedding gift in 1974. I lit a candle. Put some Ella Fitzgerald on the record player. Got ready slowly, carefully, the way you do when you are looking forward to something. At 5:47, the text came. Mom, something came up. Diane got promoted to regional director. Her team organized a last-minute celebration. It's her big moment, you know? We're so sorry. Rain check on your birthday? We love you. I read it twice. I put the phone face down on the china plate in front of me. Ella was still playing. I sat in my good green blouse and I thought about Gerald, and about what 32 years of working with children had taught me. The quietest response is almost always the most powerful one. What I thought about that night changed the direction of everything. I called my oldest friend Beverly. We taught together for 20 years before she moved to Raleigh. I told her everything, from the Christmas dinner I packed up for Ruth to the text on my birthday. Beverly listened the way only a woman who has known you for 40 years can, without filling the silence before you are ready. When I finished, she said, Patricia, when are you going to let them feel it? I was quiet. She said, not to punish them. Just so they know. After we hung up, I sat at the kitchen table for a long time. I thought about what Gerald used to say, the most honest thing you can do is let the truth have its moment. I decided to let the truth have its moment. Here is what I did not do. I did not call Marcus back. I did not send a long sad message. I did not post anything where his cousins could see it. Here is what I did. Monday morning, I logged into the Hargrove Academy parent portal. I am the account holder. I have always been the account holder. I pulled up the full payment history. 4 years. 16 semesters. 2 children. The total was $91,400. I looked at that number for a good while. Then I called the billing office. A young woman named Caitlin answered. I told her I needed to pause the automatic bank transfer, effective immediately, and that the family should be notified about the upcoming semester balance. She said, of course, Mrs. Mercer. Is there anything else? I said, no thank you, Caitlin. That will be all. Then I called Beverly and asked if she wanted to take the train to Savannah for my birthday weekend. She said yes before I finished asking. We had 4 wonderful days. Warm air, long slow walks along River Street, oysters, and wine on a bench with the river spread out in front of us. Beverly laughed so hard one evening she knocked over her glass. I had not felt that light in years. 2 weeks after I got home, Marcus called on a Thursday afternoon. I could hear from his voice that he had been thinking carefully about what to say. Mom. Did something happen with the Hargrove account? They sent us a bill. The whole semester. Both kids. I said, yes. I paused the payment. Silence. Why? I said, why don't we have dinner? Carmine's is lovely this time of year. I still have the reservation. He came on Saturday. Alone. He arrived 10 minutes early, which he has not done since he was a teenager. He looked tired in a way that had nothing to do with sleep. I ordered the salmon. He ordered nothing. I let him talk first. He said they could manage the tuition, it was just a surprise. He said Diane was overwhelmed with the new role. He said Emma had cried when she thought she might have to leave Hargrove. When he finished, I said, Marcus, I have been paying $26,000 a year for your children's education for 4 years. I did it because I love Emma and Theo and because you needed help and I could help. I did not do it to be thanked at every meal. But I sat at my kitchen table on my 75th birthday, in the blouse I bought for the occasion, and the text you sent me took about 12 seconds to write. He looked down at the table. I said, I am not angry. I am telling you what I saw. When he looked up, his eyes were full. He said, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I knew it was wrong when I sent it. I said, I know you did. That is why we are having dinner. The following Saturday, the whole family came to my house. Diane brought flowers, from a florist, not the grocery store, and she hugged me the way she had not in years. She did not say much. Some apologies arrived through the body before they reached the words. Emma sat next to me and showed me a story she was writing for school, about a person she admired. Theo fell asleep on the couch before dessert, one hand tucked under his cheek. Marcus told me he had set up his own payment arrangement with Hargrove. He wanted to take it from here on out. I told him that sounded exactly right. I did not reactivate my automatic transfer. Not out of punishment. Because I am 75 years old, and I have learned that the gifts we give freely carry the most meaning when they are given by choice. And that choice belongs to me. Emma and I still talk every Sunday. Last week she told me she had finished that school story. I asked her who she had written about. She said, You, Grandma. Obviously. I thought about Gerald. I thought about the green blouse hanging on the bedroom door, pressed and ready. I thought about Beverly laughing on a bench in Savannah with the river bright behind her. There is a version of this story where I sent a long, painful email and called every relative I have. I am glad that is not what happened. The version I lived feels clean and true in mine. Tell me in the comments, has someone ever taken you for granted until the day you quietly stopped, and what happened when they finally noticed?